I went and grabbed some hot tap water here, filled up an old plastic shoebox here, you can see. Dunked the birch plywood down in it. You can still see how wet it is and kind of the water line for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then I've got a 2x4, 2 clamps, that piece of aluminum stock that I had on hand. And you can kind of see how things are in here. So hopefully that will give us the curvature that we need. And I've got my ceramic heat lamp here hooked up. And I'm going to just kind of keep rotating this through just to help expedite the drying process, and hopefully it will help keep some of the form as well. I know we're going to have some of this kind of spring back once I release it. That's expected. But, you know, hopefully it'll be close enough that we can re-tack it here to the front. Yeah, you can just about bet this stuff was underwater at some point. Not very useful here. I'll go back here with probably some new translucent plastic. This stuff is just as brittle. Fasteners are in good shape. A little small tacks. That piece has had better days. I got the 4 grill bars out. That one had already been broken off here. I probably got a piece of it there still in the Ziploc baggie. I'm going to take some more still photos here of the Kadette. Make sure I've got some good photography of that. And just start manually pulling this veneer off here. Come back and look at this substrate just a little closer here. A little visual here, what the cabinet would look like back together. Of course, you can see I've got the front kicked out. And tried to remove as much of that veneer as I could, but looks like a lot of hide glue was most likely used. It's being real stubborn, even with a lot of heat. I couldn't release it, even tried some heat and steam, and same results. So I could work on it more, but I tell you, after looking at the substrate, especially the sides, you'll see some of my tongue that goes into the groove is somewhat compromised. You can't see it well from this view, but the top side is compromised, and here along this side somewhat. I'm going to just go ahead and try to fabricate a brand new front piece. So that's going to take a little bit of time, and but this gives you an idea how this cabinet comes together. Let me kind of pull this down some. You guys can see what they did, this fine piece of birch. And again, I went back with 1/32 of inch, and that's what I'll use on my 1/8 inch my stock here as well. Be 2 pieces of that together with a 1/32 inch on top of it to reproduce the front. I'll show my measurements in an upcoming video, but that should allow this piece here, I was able to curve over the top. You can see how nice it turned out, and get it to line up here as such, and then I can clamp it down from the rear once everything's in, or at least I think I can. I think there's enough space there to do that, like maybe of 1/4 of an inch or so, to make that clamp happen and get that nice and tight. Fill in any voids there with a little wood filler, and we should be golden. It's pouring down rain here today. There's some storm activity around as well, so no more radio work for me today. And next week, if the weather breaks, if I get time, I'm going to go ahead and strip these sides, get some lacquer thinner out, and strip both sides. Get those cleaned off, and there's lots of hand sanding that can be done, and clean out all the grooves really well. And maybe even do another, dry fit here with the top piece. I don't have it all the way back. You can see I'm still just a little off from where I should be. And make sure I don't have any issues there that I need to do some fine tuning on. And for those that are around the Charlotte area, You'll see next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Antique Radio Charlotte. If you guys are in driving distance to that, you may want to check it out. It looks like the weather forecast, at least a day or so back, looked good. I didn't make it down last year. I was supporting my dad through some health issues and didn't get an opportunity to make the trip down. So plans are to drive down this year. We'll see if that works out or not, at least for one of those days, and hang out for a while. See if there's any bargains to be found. Looks like a great show again this year. And if time permits, I may try to do some video and upload that as well. So folks, that's it for the Kadette for now. Stay tuned, and I'll have an update soon. Oh, by the way, I did want to mention too, went back through more scraps and couldn't find any more of the 1/32 inch birch, so I've got to source that as well before I can move forward with the front piece. But you guys take care, and thanks again for watching this video on the little Kadette Model 35 AC.